talking about Pytest, the unit test version of in Python, which is a really important part. Actually, sometimes you should do the test even before you start the project so that you can also get a big picture of what the project should be written. So let's start with this sample of a calendar.py file on the right side. So we have a class of calendar, and we initialize the schedules as inside of a list, and there's going to be a max size, and we have several functions down there to test. The first one is the add function, so we start from the first one. So on the left side we have this test.calendar.py, and we put on Monday through Sunday under the weekdays. And first we need this fixture so that since we're using the instance from the class of calendar, so we want just to define it once and then pass it down to the test, all the tests down below. So the first function we want to test is to test if can add the schedule to the calendar. So for all the days inside of that list, we add each individual one. So if it's Monday through Sunday, we should have like 7 days, but then we want the test to fail first, so we can put in like assert if the size equals to 8. So let's see if the test fails first. And as we expected, it says assertion error, assert 7 equals to 8, which is not true. Then we put it back to 7. There are 7 days as we add it in. So now it says passed. Well, it didn't really say, but like yeah, here one pass in the screen color. And the second one we want to test of saying like, hey, we said there's only 7 of them that you can put in there, so we prefill it with 7 of them. So what happens when you add one more? So you should be able to raise up this overflow error when you add one more. So but just to be careful here, so the way we design this is if it raises overflow error and when you add a new one, then the test should pass because it raises the error. So if it doesn't raise the error, then the test fails. So let's try the failed one first, because we haven't implemented this size constraint, so it won't raise this error. So if it won't raise up the error, then it won't pass the test. So let's try this one. And also, like, you can test like each test, or you can just use Pytest to test all the tests together. So it says did not raise overflow error, so that's the problem. Now we put a constraint of if it reaches to maximum size, it should raise this error. So if it raises the error, then we're good. The test should succeed. And as we expected, it says 1 passed. So this is a good way to test if any of these edge cases are mentioned. And the next one is to get the timing on top of the weekdays. So we have like 3 different starting times, and for each weekdays we added in onto the schedule. That was 7 of them, and we basically do a transpose like in a matrix. So you want the weekdays and the timing to be added to each of the days, and we're making a list out from it. And the other way of doing that would be instead of we put this like this one, we have a calendar.py, we're in the same file, we're good, but then sometimes it might be in another database, which means in another file, another class, and we haven't implemented this class, this function at all. So in this case, we want to use this mock function. Basically, we don't do the functions here, but we get all the transposing part from this mock function and use this magic mock and add the set effect from this function here. And then we assert if one of the timing is inside of the schedule. So let me just copy the command here and just do Pytest and then the file name and the colon, double colon, and then -s to print all the things so that you can see it clearly. So like this one, first we get this list version of the transposed matrix, and this is the on each line the corresponding map. And the last one, we're gonna test the date. It's so for if we put in range of 6, which means 0 to 5, remember, and then so it's 5 times. So if we on each loop we add one more, so 23 maximum is going to add up 6 times, so the maximum should be 29. And this time we put the date inside of dictionary. So as you can see, we can put it in dictionary. And like here it's a tuple, and before it was inside of a list, so it depends on the data structure that you want. And okay, back to this function, we want to assert if 30 is in there. As we can see here, because the maximum should be 23 plus 6, so it's 29, so 30 shouldn't be there. So let's let it fail first. And it says assert 30 inside of this maximum of 29. But if we put in like in the range of 7, so it goes 7 rounds, the maximum should be 30. Then we should expect passing. And there we have it. So it's passed. And if we just do a Pytest s, then it would say 4 pass. That's like all the tests we've done so far in the whole file. And I hope this is helpful, and I'll link the source code down in the description. You can check it out, and see you next time.